Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace, mercy, blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be upon each and every one of you, my brothers and sisters. I hope that you are keeping good and you are well, and we ask Allah to bless us with a good health and with the strength, with the patience, and with the understanding of Deen Islam. So I welcome all of you in today's program. We praise Allah and we thank Allah for everything that He has given us. Ameen Ya Rabbal Alameen. Anytime Allah blesses us with the month of Ramadan, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also blesses us with many, many blessings. For example, month of Ramadan opens the doors of the paradise, it closes the doors of the Jahannam, it chains the devils, it opens the doors of the goodness and the blessings, it opens the doors of the righteous deeds, and it opens the doors of everything that we can imagine. Ramadan is a complete package which can help you to enter into the paradise. And if you're still not able to avail this package, so woe to that person. Woe to that person who is able to receive the Ramadan, who is able to receive the month of Ramadan, but he is not forgiven. He is not able to enter into the paradise. This is what Angel Gabriel made this supplication, and upon this supplication our Prophet said the Ameen. So means that what else you are waiting for? What else the month you are waiting for? If you are not able to ask Allah's forgiveness in Ramadan, so when you will ask? If you will not offer the salah and if you will not give the zakat, if you will not recite the Quran in Ramadan, so when you will do it? So that is why it's a complete opportunity. It's a full and big and massive opportunity. It's a very blessed month, very special month. But at the same time, if you not take full advantage of this Ramadan, or if you don't even make the effort, so then we know the results, my brothers and sisters. So we ask Allah not to make us among those unfortunate people. Yes, sometimes, we lack in certain things, sometimes we make mistakes, that is okay. But if a person don't even make the effort to get up in the morning and perform the Fajr Salat and keep the fast, and don't even make the effort to Taraweeh, and don't even make the effort to keep himself away from the sin, so what kind of that soul is, what kind of that individual is, that even in the month of Ramadan, when the shaitan is chained and the devil is chained, and still he is behaving like a shaitan, behaving like a devil. So we ask Allah to protect us from the footsteps of the shaitan. Sometimes, shaitan trains us so much outside of the month of Ramadan, that although in Ramadan shaitan is, chained, it is imprisoned, but we get accustomed of the footsteps of the shaitan. Sometimes we follow the same footsteps, the same whispers of the shaitan throughout, because he was training people 11 months. So now that training, he has it for those individuals. So now, although he is not in Ramadan, but sometimes some of us behave like shaitan throughout the even month of Ramadan. It's very unfortunate, my brothers and sisters. So we ask Allah not to make us among the people, those who follow the khutuwat shaitan. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu la tattabi'u khutuwat shaitan. O you believers, O the Muslims, O the people of Trinidad and Tobago, O the people of the world, O the Muslims, those who believe in me, don't ever follow the footsteps of the shaitan. Don't ever follow the whispers of the shaitan. What are the whispers? Anything which is taking you away from your God, that is from shaitan. Simple. Anything that is taking you away from Quran, that is from shaitan. Anything that is taking you away from your brothers, from your community, that is from shaitan. Any jealousy, any hatred, any animosity is in you, and if you're thinking that you should hate this person and you should deceive this person and you should show the animosity towards this person, that is from shaitan, that is from devil. And once you follow it, it means that you are following the shaitan and you are not following Allah. You are pleasing the shaitan and you are not pleasing the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sometimes what we do throughout Ramadan, we please Allah, and in the next 11 months we please the shaitan. And this is very wrong attitude. We should make the effort that to please Allah throughout our life. But at least make the effort to please Allah, at least in the month of Ramadan, and ask Allah, Ya Allah, even outside of the month of Ramadan, keep me in the same way, with the same spirit, with the same passion, with the same feelings, and with the same emotions that I had throughout Ramadan. Ya Allah, keep me in the same way, even outside of the month of Ramadan. Make this dua, my brothers and sisters. Inshallah, Allah is the one who forgives us. Allah is the one who removes our sins from our accounts. So it's very important to know your enemy. Innahu lakum aduwwun mubin. Shaitan is your enemy, my brother and my sister. Shaitan is my enemy. Shaitan is yours enemy. And we don't want to spoil the life of the hereafter just for the little enjoyment, just for the little pleasure, just for the little happiness and little, peace, my brothers and sisters. The true peace, the true comfort, the true tranquility is only in the Deen Islam. It is only in the religion of Islam. On the day of judgment, on the day of resurrection, I'm talking few things about shaitan today. On the day of judgment, shaitan will give a speech, shaitan will give a sermon, shaitan will give a khutbah, and shaitan will tell to the people of the hellfire that, فَلَا تَلُومُونِي وَلُومُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ, that do not blame me, blame yourself. Because while you are alive, God given you two options. Option of goodness and option of badness. Option of virtue and option of evil. But you have chosen me. You chosen the evil. Why you did that? Did I compel you? Shaitan will say this. مَا أَنَا بِمُصْرِخُكُمْ مَا أَنْتَ بِمُصْرِخِي. Shaitan will say, I am not going to help you and neither you going to help me. So don't blame me, blame yourself. I only did what I supposed to do. I made the promise when God expelled me from the paradise. I made the promise that, okay, give me a little bit respite, and I will misguide your people and I mislead your people. And God gave me that permission. And at the same time, God tell me as well that you don't have any sultan, you don't have any authority, you don't have any authority over my righteous people, over my pious people, those who believe in me, those who rely on me. Means that you can never misguide them, you can never mislead them, those who truly believe in me. So Shaitan will say, you see, you had the both options. You could have chosen the path of God, you have chosen the path of paradise, you can chosen have path of the Quran. Did I ever compel you? No, I just invited you. I gave you the reasons to commit the sins. Yes, I did that because that is my job. I gave you the reasons to drink the alcohol because I told you, see, when you will drink the alcohol, it will settle your mind, it will settle your heart, it will take away your worries. But didn't you know that Quran do the same thing as well? And the best thing, better than the alcohol, Quran can remove your worries much, much better way. Quran says, "Ala bi zikrillahi tatma'innul qulub." Indeed, in the zikr of Allah, in the recitation of the Quran, in the listening of the Quran, hearts find the peace. But you tried to find the peace in the alcohol, but you had the option of finding the peace in Quran. You had the option of finding the peace in Salah. You had the option of finding the peace in the zikr of your Lord, in the zikr of your God. But you found the peace in my footsteps. So don't blame me, blame yourself. So you see, that's how shaitan operates, my brothers and sisters. Shaitan beautifies the sin. I always mention this. Sometimes it's difficult for us to understand the path of shaitan and to distinguish what is right and wrong, because certain times sins are so attractive and so appealing and so beautiful that we end up committing it. We think that no, my life will have no any sense if I don't commit this sin. What kind of life is this if I am not able to taste this sin? Nowadays all over is alcohol. On the billboards, on the signboards, on the television, in the newspaper, in every single mall that you go, you will find the bottles of the alcohol. Exception cases are there. And those bottles of the alcohol are beautifully decorated, designed and nice. And look at this. Their shelves are also like elite kind of shelves, like expensive kind of shelves, nicely bottled and nicely designed. And even the commercials when they make, nice commercials, expensive commercials, it attracts you. You end up thinking that, oh, what kind of life I'm living? I didn't even taste this alcohol. I didn't even taste this drink. Woe to me, shame to me. People think like that because they brainwash your mind. They brainwash your mind, my brother. and my sister, they play with your mind. They know what are your weaknesses. That weaknesses are provided by the shaitan. They know your weaknesses. They know what will consume you, what will help you, or what will compel you to empty out your pocket. They know. So that is why when you go in the shelves of in the different stores, in the shelves of the alcohol section, in the drink section, you go in a different zone. It's something differently exotic things, and nicely decorated, nicely priced out, nicely cost, nice things, comfortable. That's from shaitan. Shaitan makes the path of sin easy, very attractive, and very open, very wide, so that you don't feel sometimes guilt to commit the sin. But the minute you will commit the sin, you will start to blame yourself. You will start to blame yourself. But some people, they don't even blame. They don't even feel guilt after drinking alcohol or after committing any shameful actions, because their heart has rotten. Their heart has covered with the darkness and with that blackness, that they reach to the level that where the sin is no more a sin for them, where they don't feel any guilt, where they don't feel any shame, where they don't feel any kind of the embarrassment, because they committed the sin so regularly, so on a consecutive way, on a daily basis, that they don't worry that that's okay to do. Their hearts don't remind them. Their hearts don't give them the wake-up call. If you commit the sin and your heart is telling you that you did something wrong, it means that you have a good heart. It means you have a good heart. Committing a sin, I always say, committing a sin is not like a big deal. What is a big deal? That how you have the attitude after committing the sin. That's what matters in the sight of Allah. Because end of the day, Allah created with the nature, or with the quality of committing the sins. It is in our jism, in our blood, actually, in our nature. But what you do after the sin, that matters. That's what makes you a good one and the wrong one. That's what makes you the better one and the worst one, the evil one and the pious one. What is your attitude and your behavior after the sin? Are you repenting to Allah, or are you just being stubborn and continuing with the same sin? And that is what is the difference between Adam and the shaitan. When Adam committed the mistake, he never committed the sin. People use the word of sin with Adam. Don't use the word sin with the Adam, because he was the prophet of Allah, and prophets are sinless and they are spotless. They don't commit the sins. He made a mistake. Even in the Quran it is mentioned. Faqad asani. He just made a mistake, and he was slipped. What he should have not eaten it, but he have eaten it. And after slipping, after making this mistake, what he did? Right away, he realized he did something wrong. He should have not done it. Because as a prophet of Allah, even a small mistake is not accepted in the sight of God, as compared to us, as compared to normal people. He was the prophet, he was a special one. So Allah was expecting the special things from him. Good. So he just ate from the forbidden tree. He didn't drink the alcohol or something haram thing, but he just saw a fruit. And that fruit was not a haram thing, but Allah was Allah was testing Adam alayhi salatu wasalam, and everything was written, actually. Everything was decreed. So what he did after committing that mistake, he repented and he asked Allah's forgiveness right away. He was not stubborn on it. He regret and he felt remorse, and Rabbana zalamna anfusana wa lam taghfir lana. And on the next side, shaitan, what he did? When he didn't bow in front of Adam, when he rebelled Allah, what he did? He kept on his mistake. He was stubborn on his mistake, and he was keep telling to everybody that no, what I did, it was right. It was my right to not to bow in front of Adam, because ana khayrum min khalaqtani min nar wa khalaqtahu min tin, that I'm better than him. You created me from the fire and you created him from the mud, from the clay. What is mud in front of the fire? So that arrogance, that stubbornness made him the shaitan, made him the devil. And that not having the quality of repentance, not having the quality of humbleness, made him the devil. That is the difference between us and the shaitan, my brothers and sisters. That we as a human, when we commit the mistakes, we humble ourselves. We humble ourselves, and Allah loves that Humility, Allah loves that. Humbleness, Allah loves that ijzo inkisari. Allah loves that ajiz person, that inkisar person, that inkisari. And Shaitan was arrogant, he was proud, he was not humble, and he was stubborn, and because of that, he was expelled from the mercy of Allah, and no mercy is written for him. So that is why what you do after the sin, that matters in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So what I was talking about, that you see, sins, Shaitan attracts us towards the sins. Shaitan beautifies us. And I was drawing the example of the alcohol. In every religion, I think, Brother Atif Majeed, in every religion, alcohol is haram, is unlawful, is not allowed, is impermissible. Good? But you see, nowadays, the way people advertise it, the way people promote it, they don't care. Because now this sin became the part of the society. It became the norm of this life, or this world is a normal thing now. Normal. So when something is done on a regular basis, when a sin is committed on a massive level, then a time comes when that sin is no more a sin. No more a sin. Nowadays, you will see people half naked, walking on the roads, walking on the streets. What happens in the carnival, you know that. Nothing is hidden. Nothing is hidden. So you see, if the same thing was happening 200 years ago, society would have not accepted it. But you see, with the changes of the time, things are changing. And slowly, we are being brainwashed. And behind all of this, devil and the shaitan. But you can't blame the devil. Once again, you had the option of choosing the wrong and the right. You have ended up choosing the wrong, so don't blame shaitan now. That is the difference between us and the animals. God given us the intellect. God has given us the mind and the soch and the tadabbur. That power of contemplation, that power of pondering over the things. Animals don't have this choice. Animals don't have this option to choose right and wrong. But we have it. But sometimes we behave, and we behave worse than animal. Good. Allah says, لَقَدْ خَلَقْتَ الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ, that indeed we have created the insan with the best of shape. ثُمَّ رَدَدْنَاهُ أَسْفَلَ سَافِلِينَ, but he has chosen to go to the worst of them, to the lowest of the low. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to open our eyes and to open our mind, my brothers and sisters. What the world is doing, and what the society is doing, and what the people, those who are living in your surrounding doing, that should not bother you. That should not matter to us. What matters to us, that what Allah is asking us to do. We are not here to follow the people. Remember that. We are not here to follow this culture and that culture. No. Islam is not the cultural religion. Sometimes people say, no, this teaching does not suit in this culture. No. It's nothing to do. Is Islam, is the same Islam is in Pakistan, same Islam in Saudi, same Islam applies in America, same Islam applies in Europe, same Islam applies in the West Indies as well, in these Caribbean countries, in this Trinidad. So it's nothing to do with a cultural thing. Udkhulu fi silmi kafa, enter into the religion of Islam wholeheartedly. If Islam says wear the hijab, wear the hijab. If Islam says cover your body, cover your body. If you are in Saudi or if you are in Trinidad, you have to. You have to. If you are struggling, that's the next case. I'm not judging anybody. We don't have any right to judge people. If people not wearing the hijab, probably you don't know, probably they are making the effort to wear the hijab. Probably slowly they will change their life. Allah will make it easy for them. Inshallah, Allah will make it easy. We ask Allah to guide us and to protect us and to secure us. There is an ease in Islam, but that ease does not mean that you just change the teachings of Islam the way you want. You just, swift, or how they say, all kind of things you do with the teachings of Islam and you live the Islam on your convenience. No, it don't work like that, my brother. And my sister, Islam is an easy religion, very comfortable religion. Few things you have to do, and that's it, inshallah. So, live your life the way Allah has decided for you, not the society is deciding for you, not the way the world is deciding for you. No. You don't have to adopt the different kind of cultures and to survive in them. No. Adopt the culture of Islam. Once you adopt the culture of Islam, you will survive. You will survive. And once you're not adopting the culture of Islam, once you're adopting your own culture, and that culture is, as long as that culture is not clashing and contradicting with the teachings of Islam, nothing wrong in it. Nothing wrong in it. But the minute the tradition and the cultures are clashing and contradicting with the teachings of Quran, with the teachings of the Sunnah, that is where the problem begins. And as long as you will not follow the Islam in a true sense and completely and wholeheartedly, we will be being bullied and we will be being embarrassed and humiliated in the world, my brother. This is what is happening with us throughout the Muslim Ummah, with the entire Muslim Ummah. Back days, companions, they ruled the world. Salafus Salihin, they were the conqueror of the world. They had more than half of the world. Why? Because they followed the Quran. They followed the Sunnah. They never fall in the inferiority complex. Nowadays, this is the next thing. If the media is saying this thing, you don't need to worry, brother, my sister. You have this Quran. Deen-e Islam is the best religion on the face of the earth. Best religion on the face of the earth. So, what is your identity? Live with it. Don't try to hide your identity. Don't try to hide your identification. You're born as a Muslim and you will desire and you will yearn to die as a Muslim as well, inshallah. Inshallah, yes. So live your life in a positive way, treat people in a positive way, think about yourself positive as well, and think about others positive as well, inshallah, and think about Allah positive as well, that inshallah, out of mercy, inshallah, and inshallah, and He will help us to enter into the paradise. So these are the few things that I wanted to share this evening. So inshallah, my sister will share with you a beautiful story. So over to her. Until next program, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Sumaya Khan and today I'll be reading to you part 2 of part 3 of the story of Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam. Part 1 dealt with those who worship celestial bodies, while part 2 will show how he dealt with the idolaters. Allah the Almighty commanded, and from among His signs are the night and the day, and the sun and the moon. Prostrate not to the sun nor the moon, but prostrate to Allah who created them, if you really worship Him. Quran chapter 41 verse 37. Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam's reasoning helped to reveal the truth, and then the conflict between him and the people began. For the worshippers of the stars and planets did not stand silent. They began arguing and threatening Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam. He replied, "Do you dispute with me concerning Allah? Well, He guided me, and I fear not those whom you associate with Allah in worship. Nothing can happen to me except when my Lord Allah wills something. My Lord comprehends in His knowledge all things. Will you not then remember? How should I fear those whom you associate in worship with Allah, though they can neither benefit or harm? While you fear not that you have joined in worship with Allah things for which He has not sent down to you in authority. So which of the two parties has more right to be in security? If you but know, it is those who believe in the oneness of Allah and worship not but Him alone, and confuse not their belief with zulm. For them only there is security, and they are guided." Quran chapter 6 verses 80 to 82. Allah gave Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam the reasoning he needed, the first time and every time he argued with his people. Allah the Almighty declared, "And that was our proof which we gave Ibrahim against his people. We raised whom we will in degrees. Certainly your Lord is all-wise, all-knowing." Quran chapter 6 verse 83. Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam did his best to make his people heedful to the belief in the oneness of Allah the Almighty and to the worship of Him alone. He bade them to firmly renounce the worship of idols. He said to his father and his people, "What are these images to who you are devoted?" They said, "We found our forefathers worshipping them." He said, "Indeed, you and your forefathers have been in manifest error." They said, "Have you brought us the truth? Or are you one of those who play about?" He said, "Nay, your Lord is the Lord of the heavens and the earth, who created them, and of that I am the witness. Quran chapter 21 verses 52 to 56. All was finished between Prophet Ibrahim alayhi and his people, and the struggle began. The most amazed and furious was his father, for as it's well known, he not only worshipped idols, but sculpted and sold them as well. Prophet Ibrahim alayhi felt that it was his duty as a good son to advise his father against this evil, so that he would not be counted amongst those who Allah punishes. Being a wise son, he did not make his father feel foolish, nor did he openly laugh at his conduct. He told him that he loved him, thereby hoping to generate his fatherly love. Then he gently asked him why he worshipped lifeless idols who could not hear, see, or protect him. Before his father could become angry, he hastily added, "O my father, verily, there has come to me knowledge that which has not come to you. So follow me, I will guide you to the straight path. O my father, worship not shaitan. Verily, shaitan has been a rebel against the most beneficent Allah. O my father, verily I fear lest a torment from the most beneficent Allah overtake you, that you become a companion of shaitan in the hellfire." He, the father, said, "Do you reject my gods, O Ibrahim? If you stop not this, I will indeed stone you. So get away from me safely before I punish you." Prophet Ibrahim alayhi said, "Peace be upon you. I will ask forgiveness for you from my Lord. Verily, he is unto me, ever most gracious. And I shall turn away from you and from those who invoke besides Allah." Quran chapter 19 verses 43 to 48. His father's harsh treatment did not stop Prophet Ibrahim alayhi from delivering the message of truth. Angry and sad to see his people prostrate before idols, he was determined to stamp out these practices and went to the town to debate with the people, knowing fully well that he might suffer harm. Prophet Ibrahim alayhi asked them, "Do these idols see you when you prostrate before them? Do they benefit you in any way?" They quickly tried to defend their beliefs. They argued that they knew the idols were lifeless, but their forefathers had worshipped them. To them, this proof was enough for their belief. Prophet Ibrahim alayhi explained that their forefathers had been wrong. This angered them, and they retorted, "Are you condemning our gods and our forefathers, or are you just joking?" Prophet Ibrahim alayhi showed no fear as he replied, "I am serious. I come to you with a true religion. I have been sent with guidance from our Lord, who alone is worthy of worship, who is the creator of the heavens and the earth, and who regulates all affairs of life. Unlike the dumb idols who are made of just stone and wood." To convince them that the idols could not harm him, he challenged, "I have already condemned them. If they had any power, they would have harmed me by now." Prophet Ibrahim alayhi explained to them the beauty of Allah's creation, His power and wisdom. Idol worship is detested by Allah, for Allah is the Lord of the universe, who created mankind, guided him, and provided him with food and drink, and cured him when he was sick, and who will cause him to die and be raised up again. It was He to whom Prophet Ibrahim alayhi prayed, and who would forgive his sins on the Day of Judgment. However, they would not give up, but clung fast to idolatry. Prophet Ibrahim alayhi left his father's house and abandoned his people and what they had worshipped. He decided to do something about this state of disbelief, but did not reveal it. He knew that there was going to be a great celebration on the other bank of the river, which would be attended by all the people. Prophet Ibrahim alayhi waited until the city was empty, then came out cautiously, directing his steps towards the temple. The streets leading to it were empty, and the temple itself was deserted, for the priests had also gone to the festival outside the city. Ibrahim went there carrying a sharp axe. He looked at the stone and wood statues and at the food laid in front of them. He approached one of them and asked, "The food in front of you is getting cold. Why don't you eat it?" The statue kept silent and rigid. Ibrahim alayhi asked all other statues around him, Will you not eat the offering before you? Quran chapter 13 verse 91. He was mocking them, for he knew that they could not eat. He once again asked them, what is the matter with you that you do not speak? Quran chapter 37 verse 92. He then raised his axe and started smashing the false gods worshipped by the people. He destroyed them, all except one, whose neck he hung the axe. After his anger subsided, he felt peace. He left the temple. He had fulfilled his vow to show his people a practical proof of their foolishness in worshipping something other than Allah. When the people returned, they were shocked to see their gods smashed to pieces, lying scattered all over the temple. They began to guess who had done that to their idols, and Prophet Ibrahim a.s.'s name came into their minds. Allah the Almighty said that they said, who has done this to our gods? He must indeed be one of the wrongdoers. They said, we heard a young man taking against them who was called Ibrahim, they said. Then bring him before the eyes of the people, that they may testify. They said, are you the one who has done this to our gods, O Ibrahim? Ibrahim said, nay, this is one, the biggest of them, idols, did it. Ask them if they can speak. So they turned to themselves and said, verily, you are the Zalimun, the polytheists, the wrongdoers. Then they turned to themselves. They first thought and said, indeed, you Ibrahim know well that these idols do not speak. Ibrahim said, do you then worship besides Allah things that you can neither profit or harm you? If upon you and upon that which you worship besides Allah, have you then no sense? Quran chapter 21 verses 59 to 67. Furious, they demanded that Ibrahim be arrested and tried. Ibrahim did not resist. This was precisely what he had been aiming for, so that he could show them in public for their foolish beliefs. At the trial, they asked him if he was responsible for breaking the idols. Smiling, he told them, ask the biggest idol, which still held the axe. He told them that he must be the culprits. They replied that he knew well that the idol could not speak or move, which gave Ibrahim the chance to prove the foolishness of worshipping these lifeless objects. Then they realized the senselessness of their beliefs. However, their arrogance would not allow them to admit their foolishness. All they could do was to use their power of authority, as tyrants usually do, to punish Ibrahim. They kept him in chains and planned their revenge. This is the end of part 2. Be sure to watch for part 3 of the story of Prophet Ibrahim Islam and the idol worshippers and the hateful response to his warnings. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.